Let's go. I'm Christopher Pitt, and welcome to the Pursuit to Own podcast. At Pursuit to Own, we are pursuing ownership at every level of life. Whether it's mindset, business, life, or real estate, our goal is to get you from renting to owning your future. See, I felt the pain of poverty growing up as a sharecropper in zip code 27843. I understand the struggle of living in a one-bedroom shack, owning nothing, not even running water. But I turned that pain into purpose by becoming a premier affordable housing community developer, providing 27,843 ownership opportunities in marginalized communities. Here's the truth. Ownership starts in your mind, regardless of your situation or location. Whether you are escaping the poverty trap, buying a home, or starting a business, the pursuit to own mindset is the key to unlocking your zip code and success. Join me to discuss new innovative ways to own real estate with tokenization, blockchain, crowdfunding, fractional ownership, and so much more. Let's go. Welcome back to Pursuit to Own TV. Look, we coming in hot today, guys, right? Because it matters, right? Because what we're going through right now, what you're going through, what I went through, the struggles and everything, guys, is part of the system, right? We was taught to survive. We was never taught to succeed. You understand what I'm saying? We're put in position where we have a badge of courage for surviving, not succeeding, surviving, because more things around you that will have you in a situation where survival is the only way out, right? If you don't survive, right, then you may be in demise, right? If you don't survive, you may be in demise. And that is not succeeding, right? The bar is still, we're talking about low. So, and a lot of people get confused when you're starting to succeed in life or you just surviving, right? Which one are you? Which one are you? And that looks different for everyone, right? Because some people may see what you're doing as successful, but is it really for you? Is it really for you, right? If you have a job and you have opportunity for growth there, is that your success? Or in your mind, that is still low on your bar of what you think you can achieve in life, right? That's what I'm talking about. At the end of the day, we're all based around surviving. Every time you take on a promotion, it's this, right? Every time you interview for a job, right? It's the survival of the fittest. You're going and you're competing against everybody. You got to survive. We teach you that, right? That's what life teach you, how to survive. Great, great skill set to have, right? You must be a survivor. But if you're always surviving, are you really being successful? If the road is always filled with barriers and challenges, are you really successful? That's what you got to understand, right? So for me, we getting right to the bottom of it. You got to look at yourself and figure out, am I surviving or am I succeeding? And all these things change depending on the season you're in. You know, what you thought success looked like 5 years ago may not be the case today. What you thought 10 years ago, what would be success, may not be the case today. What you thought last year would be success is not what you expected is today, because the world is moving faster, right? If things are moving faster, then we have to get on the move. We got to get in pursuit. We got to get in front. We can't keep fighting from the back. We can't keep fighting from the back. Theirs is the struggle, right? When you're fighting from the back, you're in the fight to survive. And we got to be successful. We're going to talk about how does that happen, right? How do you make that point in your life when you know there's a crossroad there? Sometimes it's financial, sometimes it's just a way of life. It's many things that you can define how you want your life to look. But for me, let's take me in real estate. Now, I can easily go out there and do something that is just financially, and I can get a lot of support from people, right? Because money matters. Money matters. But if I tell them I'm doing something that with purpose, woo, now we got another subject, right? Now we got another subject because people don't care about your purpose, right? The people that care about your purpose are the people that are going through it, right? The people that want to make money, they don't care about your purpose. The people that care about your purpose are the people that went through the thing you're trying to do. And that is important when you're out here and you're trying to get out of that survival mode, right? Because if you keep running into the people that don't share that alignment, you're never going to get there, right? Here's a great example for you. For me, if I wanted to go and do something, just say in a community that's underserved, right? What does that mean? That means that it's maybe a lot of blight. It could be security risks. Could be a lot of crime. Could be a lot of things, right? But it's still people living there, man. People are living there. They're just waiting for someone to come in and put some sort of investment. Well, you know how this thing turns out. Either you got somebody that's too small, they don't have the resources to make any impact, or you have the bigger organizations and then ain't enough margin for them to do the job, right? So they're not going to do it. So it just stays there. So it takes someone like myself. Now, catch this. Someone like myself to go into an area like that, and I have to personally guarantee the funding I get, knowing it's the highest risk it could ever be in the work I do. Now, does that seem like a logical thing to you? It's not. That's why people don't do it. Because you are really taking a lot of risks. And again, we're akin to that, right? We understand, like, everything we do, it feels like we have to take the greatest risk. No matter how far we go in life, if you're first generational, you're coming from an underserved community, you're always taking risks. Always. And I'm talking about over the top risks, not like the normal risks. We're talking like over the top risks. Nothing you can do in any business is guaranteed, right? Meaning that you don't know the guarantee of an outcome. It's always that. But I'm speaking for first generational people. Everything we do feels like a life and death decision when we're on our journey to figure out, can we get this organization running? Can we get our own business running? Right? We bootstrap. We borrow. We do whatever it takes to show everyone else that we are willing to take the risk and we have the skill and capacity to do the job. Now, that's not the story for everyone else. That's not the story. A lot of people come with a lot of this stuff with them without taking the risk. So my question for you, are you surviving or are you finally succeeding? I have to ask that same question to myself all the time, because even at this point in my life, I'm still betting heavy on me. I have to bet heavy on me before anyone else does. Right? And it's okay because that's my way out. Right? Because I know no one knows me better than me. No one can double down on me more than me. Like, I know what's on the line every day. But do it always have to be that way is the question. At what point does what you have done, what you have overcome, get to a point where you're competing with the big boys? It doesn't matter what industry you're in. I'm in real estate. It doesn't matter your industry. You're climbing the corporate ladder. You know what I'm talking about. Everything you do, you feel like you're walking on eggshells. Everything you do is considered career ending or career promotion, right? It's no in between. If you're in between, you're not doing anything, right? You're just, you're setting yourself up to be cut, let go, whatever word you want to put in there. But my point is, are you surviving or are we succeeding? And here's the thing. We never been taught to succeed because success looks very different. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, once you overcome, if you're one of the few people, if you're a pursuit breed, baby, and you are bred without belief, I mean, you have put it all on the line and you have got it done and you got the outcome regardless of what they told you can happen. And you still did it. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about, right? Because you know what it feels like to take that risk and go through all the pain you have to do to get to that purpose. You know exactly what I'm talking about. But have you ever heard this before? When people say, well, we making investments, we're really investing in the founder. Now that's interesting to me because when I see that, there don't seem to be a lot of first time generational people that gets that afforded that opportunity, right? I see some of the great people there's out there, but you know, we earn everything up to that point, right? We have to earn it. We have to earn it. So I'm bringing this up because we got to get in pursuit. People are still in survival mode. If you're just surviving, how are you going to be successful in the new economy? Yes, I'm still talking about technology. I'm still talking about AI. Again, this is someone that came from a tobacco field that's in tokenization real estate now, guys. Right? Technology is matter. I'm bringing this up because everybody's sleeping at the wheel. Everybody's sleeping at the wheel. And I am doing my best because I'm going through this transformation myself. I'm doing this. I'm trying to figure out what I need to do to be able to accomplish my goals, my purpose 5 years from now. And this 5 years from now, it's going to look very different than any other 5 years you've ever been a part of, right? It's going to look so different. Before someone will ask you, hey, what's your 5-year plan? Guys, let me tell you something. You need you need a 6-month plan when AI comes around. Like things are changing so much. And you don't see it because it's right here under the surface, right? They're beta testing everything. And let me tell you something. Some of this stuff is phenomenal. It's great. I can do a lot more with it, right? The point is, at some point, we're going to hit a break even when, oh, it's just helpful. Oh, this is really helpful until it's actually better than you. And when it becomes better than you, then what? Depending on which role you in, what do you do, whatever your skill set is, that is the thing you need to plan for. So you got to get to the point now is we got to get out of surviving and be successful because you're going to go against this again here soon, right? So you have to figure out right now, where am I going to be 1 year from today? Not 5 years, 1 year. Think about that. Where are you going to be 1 year from today? Because the things that are going to happen in that 1 year is going to feel like 10. We're going to be sitting here a year from now, and the things that we're going to be talking about that technology can do, it's been unbelievable. And again, we in that what we call the honeymoon stage, where it's here to help us, right? It's here to help us. And there's a lot of people fall into this whole, they don't want to use it, they don't believe in it. Guys, that is the worst thing you can possibly do. And it's a lot of people banking on you to do the exact thing. Because here is the dilemma. Either you're going to learn how to use it, or someone's going to be using you at the end of the day, right? And if you haven't been successful yet, what does it look like to be surviving in a tech world? What does it look like to be, going against someone? Here's the biggest thing I used to go against, right? For me, growing up with a little to nothing, right? What my greatest competition was what? When I had to take a course and and I had no tutors, very little, help around, and I'm competing against someone that has private tutors, that has resources, that are getting people from other industries, like grooming them at an early age. I'm competing against that person, right? That's who I'm competing against, right? And and at times, you know what wins? My will is the only way I can win. I have to be able to outwork that person, man. I got to do the things they don't want to do. That's my only way to survive, and that's my only way to ever get an opportunity to be successful, right? Let's fast forward this thing too. Now you're talking about AI, right? Technology. Technology doesn't sleep. Technology don't have bad days. Technology tires don't get blown out on the way to work. Technology never gets sick. Technology use the best knowledge base across the world in seconds. In seconds. How do you compete? How do you compete? That's what you got to start looking at. How do you compete? And I'm going back to this because we got one thing and one thing only that's going to separate us. And that's purpose, guys. If you ever had it in you and wanted to make it a part of your life, today is the day. Today is the day. Because if you can't figure out something that's not routine, something that's gonna get you through when things are against you, when everything looks black, when you don't have a way out, purpose is the only thing that can keep you moving. Purpose is the only thing that will keep you in survival. Purpose is the only thing to make you believe it can be done, right? That's purpose. If whatever you're doing routine, forget about it. If whatever you're doing in life feels like a routine, forget about it. Forget about it. If your life is routine, you are perfectly aligned to be taken out by AI. That's just a fact. So think about how things are transitioning, right? Now it's all the things that nobody wanted to do are the things that seem to be the things that you can do to save yourself, right? All these things. Let's think about in my industry. Nobody stopped wanting to be a plumber, electrician, all this. Oh, well, a plumber. I'm not going to be crawling into no house. I'm not going to be doing all these things, right? I'm not going to be doing that. But guess what? As of right now, they don't have a lot of robotics doing this stuff. They don't have a lot, right? So there's an opportunity for these people to double down. So now people are going back into the trades. Why? Not because it's so great. It is because the opportunity is now valuable. It wasn't valuable before. But you know what it's not? It's not routine. It's not routine. Being a plumber is not routine, right? Being in the real estate and carpentry, not routine, right? Trying to get deals to work and negotiating with, landlords and other investors, not routine. So these are the things you have to sharpen up on and figure out what's in your industry, what you need to tighten up on, right? So what we need to do right now is figure out today, are we surviving or are we succeeding? Are we surviving or are we succeeding? And if you feel like you're still in survival mode, you better get in pursuit today. Let's go. Thank you for listening to the Pursuit to Own podcast. If today's episode inspired you, don't stop here. Take the next step toward owning your future. Visit pursuitToOwn.com to sign up and join our growing community of wealth builders. And don't forget to follow us on social media at Pursuit to Own for updates, tips, and success stories. Together, we're turning dreams into assets. Until next time, stay in pursuit.